At the top of first-person shooters and gaming, how do you feel on the competition out there with the other developers, and how do you think you may adapt your game in the future to compete and to keep yourselves at the top?
I mean, we're very lucky within Activision to have some of the best studios in the world, and such depth of talent within those teams and such investment that goes in. There's always pretty profound innovation that happens. So I think it's not easy, obviously, to create a Call of Duty experience that raises the bar each year, but the studio team's doing an incredible job to stay ahead of the pack in that respect, and they're doing an amazing job balancing off the needs of our audience around what they know and love, which we always want to deliver more of that polish, that feel of the game, as it's often described to us by fans, but also finding new ways to be, take some risks, be challenging. There's things in the Ghosts game launching November the 5th this year around mantling and sliding, leaning from cover, things like that, which we're doing for the first time. So, as well as a lot of things like dynamic maps and multiplayer. So the competition are definitely chasing hard, but I think as a function of the talent on our teams, we always seem to stay just that little bit ahead of everyone else.
Call of Duty has been the best-selling game of the year for several years running now. Obviously this year you've got some fairly big competition in Grand Theft Auto 5. How do you feel about second place?
I mean, we don't think of it in those terms. I think Rockstar have done a great job doing what they do. That's a great game that they've delivered. I think for us, we're very focused on our commercial targets this year, and it all stems to giving our fans what they want and desire, and we've got the most passionate, committed and engaged fan base in the world, so it's amazing what those guys, how passionate and committed they are. So, and we're confident we've got an unbelievable game that's really going to raise the bar, and on top of that we've got an amazing Microsoft partnership that allows us to do impressive things in the marketplace, reach and talk to a lot of people as well, with a blockbuster game on the Xbox One.
Any other questions?
Thank you. One of your, last year's game, you did a big impact in the esports, so doing the big focus. How are you finding it balancing the new constant, actually balancing between the esports and the casual?
I'm sorry, your question, how do we find the balancing between esports and
the casual players, keeping the game nice?
Yeah. It's a good question. I mean, we've definitely put a lot of emphasis and focus onto our esports initiatives this year. We've had all sorts of events happening in all sorts of markets around the world. I think one of the things that's always defining for Call of Duty is it's easy, as we say a lot internally in the business, it's easy to pick up but hard to master. So I think, it's a great the studio teams make it a great experience for people novice people to just pick up and play. And level up and discover new unlocks and weapons and things to do within the maps, and develop their gameplay capabilities. And equally, there's so much customization and different aspects of the gameplay. It continues to be rewarding for seasoned veteran players as well. And I think, particularly on the customization front, you're going to see us really raising the bar on that this year with Call of Duty Ghosts.
I have a friend, he's got a PS3, he's got 4 games displayed, 3 are Call of Duty, 1's FIFA. What do you think makes your game resonate so much with your more casual gamers? Might buy maybe 1 game a year, but it's definitely Call of Duty they game.
I think, the studio team's doing an amazing job for a number of years now, just knocking it out of the park each year, delivering that gameplay experience that runs at 60 frames per second, is amazingly tight to feel and play, and production values that are industry leading. So I think for lots and lots of people, word of mouth helps us celebrate that within the franchise, and a lot of players are talking to their friends about what it's like to play Call of Duty and what a great experience it is. So I think that's what helps give us such breadth of appeal year after year after year.
And time for last one. To have the success that you guys have had, you have to have a fantastic fan base, and there's everyone has a favourite medium of finding out what it is, be it Twitter, memes, conventions. Do you two have a favourite way of communicating with the fans?
I think that there's a lady called Tina at the studio who does an amazing job tweeting quite frequently what's happening around the game. And I think for the gamers and our fans who are listening the hardest, I think they definitely perceive that and see that as a key communication channel as to what's happening, as a kind of inside track, straight from the horse's mouth.
A very last one actually, son.
Right, yeah, congratulations first of all for finding that goose that keeps laying these golden eggs. It's a fiscal question, I suppose. With increasing development costs, talent costs increase, marketing costs increase, development costs increase. You can't start charging people £100 a game. So my question is it a sustainable market if you're going to continue sort of spiralling costs to go up?
I think it is if you keep giving our fan base a game that they want to buy and they want to continue to want to come back and play, and I think what we've proved with Call of Duty over the years is that that's what we do. And I think the innovation that David's talked to, the epic nature of the game, whether it's single player, the community aspect and the multiplayer, I think if you get that right, which our development studios do year in, year out, I think it sustains itself. So I think it's a fair question. It's very challenging times out there, but I think if you produce the standard of game that we produce every year, I think it sustains itself.
And just to build on that, I think one of the things obviously that Call of Duty's done is around game modes. So when you think about the fan favourites mode like zombies, things like Spec Ops, there's new modes as well as microtransactions on Black Ops 2 that we've introduced. So there's always ways, that's the beauty of the technology industry and marketplace, there's always new ways to really quite profoundly innovate and keep providing great entertainment to our fans.
Brilliant, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations for the win. Thank you.
Thank you.